Hi, this is Jonas from Oslo Pro. In this video, I'm going to show you Akerselva. Akerselva is the river that divides Oslo into east and west. And I don't think enough tourists are aware of this urbanized park area that starts at the heart of Oslo. Just to show you how close this is to everything, I'm starting this video here at Vaterland Bridge. That tall glass building right over there, that is Oslo Plaza Hotel, which is, by the way, the tallest building in Norway. And right behind of Oslo Plaza is Oslo Central Station. And this is Akerselva. So let's go check out what this not so hidden gem has to offer. I just got to say this, the lower parts of Akerselva have always been used by drug dealers and is still kind of a shady area. But the city is doing a lot to clean it up, like cutting down trees and setting up more lighting and of course the constant police presence. But I have now walked up to Grünerløkka, and that is Nybrua. The new bridge is called Nybrua. That's where Torvald Meyers gate starts, and that is the start of Grünerløkka. I already made a video about that. Right by Nybrua is this mini golf course. In the street above Nybrua there is a nice tapas restaurant Escalon over there, and there are a few bars here. Also a few nice bars to sit outside during the summer. And there's a cafe, Kaffebrenneriet, over there. 100 meters upstream from Nybrua is another bridge. It's called Anker Bridge, and I'm standing on it right now, but it is actually more commonly known as Eventyrbrua, meaning the fairy tale bridge, because there are 4 statues on the bridge of fairy tale characters. And this one right here is Per Gynt from Henrik Ibsen's play. And if you know anything about Norwegian literature, you of course know who Henrik Ibsen is. I just walked past 2 guys fishing over there. It still amazes me, this river. I didn't even know that was possible. There's another nice venue by the river. This is Syng, it means sing. It's a karaoke place. Luckily no karaoke is going on right now, it's too early. But this is such a nice place to sit if the weather is nice, or you can also sit inside. A bit further upstream you will be walking past this graffiti house. This is Hausmania, and it is a squatted house. It has been occupied by squatters for more than a decade. And I heard that before there used to be quite wild illegal parties going on in there, but somehow they managed to convince the city to fund them, and now they have turned into kind of a legal culture house. This is also right by Hausmania. This is the Sunday flea market by Blå. There's also a flea market up at Birkelunden every Sunday on Grünerløkka. I already covered that in my Grünerløkka video. But this is the other one down at Blå. And Blå is the nightclub right there. There's a cafe nightclub, it's called Blå. And there's also another one right here. This is called Ingensteds. This one right here, it means nowhere. The next thing you will get to if you follow the river upstream is Mathallen. This is Oslo Food Court, and it is also open on Sundays. Also by Mathallen is Dansens Hus. It means the dance house or something like that. At Dansens Hus there are dance shows like modern dance, this kind of stuff. But if you don't like dance shows, don't worry, because there's also this bar where you can sit down while enjoying this view of Akerselva. Inside of Mathallen there are lots of cafes and restaurants and a few bars. Since we are talking about the Akerselva river, you have to head on to the basement of Mathallen. There you will find this pub. It's called Smelteverket, and that means the smelter. They claim to have the longest bar in Scandinavia, and the Akerselva river is right here. In the old days there were lots of factories around Akerselva. They used the river for transportation and for harvesting energy. At the opposite side of the river from Oslo Food Court is this 1950s grain silo, which has been converted into student apartments. I have now crossed the river and I'm on the Grünerløkka side of Akerselva. The silo is right over there behind the trees, and this street here, this is Grüners gate. If you go down there, you will end up at the heart of Grünerløkka, the park which is called Birkelunden, but I already made a video about Grünerløkka. Anyway, you should check out this small coffee shop here. This is by far the most talked about coffee shop in Oslo. It's actually more than a coffee shop, it's also a micro roastery, believe it or not. This guy, Tim Vendelbo, which is also the name of the coffee shop, he is one of the most famous baristas in Norway, the most famous barista in Norway, and he actually won the World Cup in baristaing in 2004 and made this coffee shop. You go have a look inside, you will find a coffee roasting machine here, and there's no cakes or anything, it's just fantastic coffee. Actually, I don't think a coffee shop is a good word to describe this place. It's more like a coffee bar. They have all kinds of coffee and they only brew it on demand, so it's always completely fresh. And this is what one cup of coffee might look like from this place. It's fantastic. Now I have walked about 100 meters upriver from this silo, and this area is called Cuba. For some reason I don't know. This park here is Cubaparken. Cubaparken is on the west side of the river, and the bridge I was standing on is right over there. Also by the park is this nice place. This is Fyrhuset Cuba, which means the lighthouse, and it's just a decent place to sit down if the weather is nice. By the way, Akerselva is one of my favorite running locations, so if you are looking for a scenic run, you should head over to Akerselva. Past Cuba, you will be walking past this scenic waterfall, and you will have to use this nice old suspension bridge for crossing the river. At the foot of the bridge there is this poem. It says, 100 men I can carry, but if you try to march over me, I will fail. Probably because it's a suspension bridge. Anyway, this bridge is so old that it's actually written in Danish. For those of you who don't know, Norway was under Denmark until about 200 years ago. Well, the truth is that the bridge is old, but it was moved here in the 1950s. By the way, saying the Akerselva River is like saying the Aker River, because Akerselva literally means the Aker River. And Aker is an area in the north of Oslo. We have now passed the upper parts of Grünerløkka, and coming up here is another nice photo opportunity by another waterfall. There are also a few venues around here. This one is Valmann's. I think it's what's called a cabaret, you know, the kind of restaurant where the waiters suddenly break into dancing and singing, and well, don't ask me, I've never been there. At the top of the waterfall is one of my favorite Oslo spots. Look at this. It's just a really pretty place. And by the waterfall there is this old red house, which is a cafe. It's closed now because it's past 4 p.m. Anyway, everybody in Norway knows this house because it was featured in a famous comedy sketch. I'll leave a link to it about hair, but it's all in Norwegian, you won't understand anything. It's called Høns Lovisas, and that means chicken Lovisas, apparently according to the sketch, because a woman named Magda lived here and she hated chickens. By the bridge that crosses the waterfall there are also some interesting venues. This is Månefisken, it means the moonfish. It's a restaurant and bar. This place is a hidden gem. You can sit here under the bridge right by the waterfall. I have now skipped a few kilometers and I'm at Nydalen. I doubt that any of you guys will be traveling this far upstream. But if you are staying at the Radisson Hotel in Nydalen, it might be nice to know that Akerselva is right by, and this is the nicest venue in Nydalen. This is Nydalen Bryggeri and Spiseri. It's a pub and brewery. They've got some brewery stuff going on here, and some really fancy bangers and mash, and a really nice beer selection. There are a few dams along the river where it is possible to swim in it, and one is here at the north of Nydalen. There's even a diving board over there. Another place you can swim is above this dam. This dam is called Trysja. I swam here once, and I'm not doing it again. It was really cold. This is Maridalsvannet. It is the source of Akerselva. It's not possible to go down to the lake because it's also the main supply of drinking water for Oslo. But there are unlimited hiking opportunities here. There are footpaths where you can literally walk for hours into the forest. That's all I had for you in this episode of Oslo Pro. Thank you for watching and welcome to Oslo.